Hello friends, now I am come with a very common type of Java that we are normally used this data in our Java programming language. For example, we are used different types of data types in Java. For example, we have primitive data types and non-primitive data types. So what are the different types of data types they are? For example, if we see some primitive data types like byte, integer, short, long, float, double, boolean, char, and non-primitive data types like arrays, classes, interface, strings. These are the different types of data types that we are used in our Java programming language. If we see, the Java is a statically typed programming language, means if we use the variable as a container for stored any particular value, and if we want to use that variable, we need to declare that what type of data that will store in that variable before using that variable. For example, if we see, if we used that integer type data, and if we write in our Java programming language like integer a is equal to 0, that means we store that 0 in variable a, and whatever the value that we store in that variable a, it is an integer type. So definitely we need to clarify what type of data that will store in any variable before use that variable in our Java programming languages. So every data we are used in our programming language have some different particular default values and some default sizes, and they have some different properties. For example, if we see byte, so byte, its default size is 1 byte and default value is 0. So now later we will discuss what is their default size and default values. So let's start with the primitive data types. So we have 8 primitive data types: byte, short, integer, float, double, long, boolean, and char. So if we see first 5 types like byte, short, long, int, double, and float, they are stored the numerical values, that it may be a whole number or it may be a decimal value. For example, if we store a value in any variable, and we are define that value, that particular value that we are stored in that variable, it what type they are. For example, if you write a byte variable a is equal to 10, so that value of 10 that we will store, that we are stored in that particular value a are byte type. So so and suppose we are used a short, then we will write short variable a equal to any value, that will be 10, 20. So if we see first three, that is byte, short, and int, they are stored a whole number. So and if there is any decimal value, so that decimal value we can store in a float and double, and also that long is also used for a whole number, but that range of that long is large, so we can store a large range of number in that long data type. So boolean, is a data type that there is a two possibilities, that it may be false or it may be true conditions. Char, in char we can store a single variable value. So the default size for that byte, so that default size indicates how much range or how much particular value that we can store in that data type. For example, if we consider the byte, so in byte its default size is 1 byte. That 1 byte means it's two that 1 bytes means 8 bits. So if we convert that 8 byte into the range, for example, that 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, so 2 to the power 8 says it goes to it comes to 256. So it's 256 divided by 2, it's 128. So its range is minus 128 to plus 127.